Hello, my fellow Americans. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you from in front of the Yaman El Taco Mexican Party Shack. No reply. You get those emails and it says no reply. That's the sender from no reply. Because doesn't that just burn you a bit? I mean, what message do you get when you read no reply? It's kind of like, don't call us, we'll call you. It's like, we don't care what you have to say. I mean, don't you find that just a bit disrespectful, a bit demeaning? It's kind of like they're telling you who's boss. It's just like these other government agencies or organizations that, take our money, or we give our money to freely, our choice. But then again, oh, well, we can't transfer you to the president's office. They don't take calls from people like you customer. It's really funny. I just got off the phone right before making these videos with I think he's the district manager for Staples. What happened was, about 2 weeks ago, I went to the Staples up in Mount Pilot. And the self-serve copy machine was broke. Well, when I went into the store, there weren't any other customers there. I think there was somebody over by the register, the cashier, and there was a guy standing in the copy center. So the self-serve copies are 11 cents. But if he does it for you, it's 15 cents. I go, well, hey, since this machine's broke, can't you do it for the same price? It's self-serve price. He wasn't busy. None of the machines were running. So he called back to his manager, and the manager said no. I said, okay. So I left. Well, see, I used to work in a corporate office as a vice president. Big deal, right? Not saying that to impress you. I'm saying that to make a point. You see, when you work in the corporate office, you don't know what's going on out in the front lines. Because if somebody out in the front line screws up, they're not going to tell their supervisor. And if the supervisors screw up, they're not telling the manager. And if the managers screw up, they're not talking to the district manager. And if the district manager screws up, they're not talking to the regional manager. And if the regional manager screws up, they're not talking to the corporate office. So you see, what we have here is failure to communicate. I love that line. Anyway, so the only way people at the top in the corporate office knows what's going on out here is if a customer contacts them. Either calls them up, sends an email, sends a letter through the U.S. mail. It's the only way they know. Or maybe they watch YouTube or look at Facebook and they see comments. Otherwise, but back then when I was in the corporate office, I don't think the internet had been invented yet. We just had PCs come out in about 81, 83. And then, because this was around 1985, 86. Anyway, yeah, around 1984, 85. So, I went on finance.yahoo.com and I got the corporate office phone number to Staples. And then I looked at the profiles and the key people, and I got the president's name, so I called him up and go, hey, I like so-and-so's office. Because if you just say the president's office, no, but if you just say matter-of-factly the president's name, like you know the person, you're more likely to get through. So I called up, I got the assistant, and I explained what happened, and she listened to me, and she agreed. Oh, lo and behold, earlier this week, I get a call from the Staples district manager. Well, we played phone tag, but I finally talked to him today. Long story short, he says that, yeah, we understand your concerns, and, I'm going to train my manager and the guy behind the copy center desk. I'm going to train them, and also, because you did this, what we're going to do is I'm going to have a $5 gift certificate for you, so when you come in to make copies, you know, first $5 is on us. See, that's how things get done. You know, and you see, I learned this when I worked back at that corporate office from the vice chairman of the company. You see, he wouldn't settle for anything than what he was supposed to get. Now, you know, some people go, oh, well, you know, these rich people are just blah, blah, blah. No, these people are rich because they're blah, blah, blah. They're rich because if they pay you to do something, they expect you to do it. If you don't do it, then they're not going to be happy until it's done right. It's just that simple. You do it right. You do it on time. You do it to spec. And you don't settle for less. So if you go to a restaurant and you order medium well and it comes rare, no. You order it medium well and it comes well, no. You don't accept. But see, most people, and chances are they're not rich, they're not millionaires, they will accept less than what they're supposed to get. You see it all the time. You just have to learn to make things right. I just bought new tires on the truck. You know, they were getting low on the threadbare side. And I told the guy at Discount Tire, you know, no, I'm not going to pay an extra, what is it, $9.50 a wheel, a tire for this warranty. They're tires, they're going to wear out, you know? I just don't think it's necessary. Well, I got something on my bill in the email alert, credit card, you know. It's like, wait, that bill looks too high. So I get the receipt out. The guy had charged me for the extended warranty when I specifically told him no. So I called up, talked to the manager. Long story short, I got to get tires for the other truck. He's going to reduce the price because of that. So you see, there's people out there willing to make things right. But if you don't speak up, if you don't take that effort, then it's never going to be right. See, me calling into these places helps them. I mean, Sears, shop your way. I've got to call into these bozos because in 4 orders, not once did I get the points I was entitled to. There's something wrong with their system. It needs to be fixed. And it's just a pain. So you see this no reply? There's ways around that. And government entities who won't give out phone numbers to certain higher-ups, excuse me, but, you know, our taxes pay your salaries. You need to hear from us. You know, we're supposed to be the ones that you work for, not the other way around. We don't work for you. But you see, the system is so corrupt, it's so incestuous, that unless you stand up, you're going to get squashed, you know? And it's even sometimes people who stand up get squashed. I was watching this video, once again, shout out to my friend Ben, who told me to watch this video, A Good American. And in it, it tells a story of ThinThread, the NSA, this computer program algorithm that could track activity through the internet and basically show if there's like some terrorist activity. And in it there was the protection so like people like you and me who aren't terrorists, they don't get our information. But there was this competing system called Trailblazer. Well, Trailblazer basically didn't work, but these other guys, I think there was a group of 12, they built this like skunkworks kind of thing, and it worked really well. Long story short, had they had this up and running before 911, there might not have been a 911. But because of these arrogant, egotistical, ignorant people at the top, they shut down this program. And this program made it, this program, ThinThread, made Trailblazer look bad. Well, Trailblazer, you know, is all these contractors. Some of them former NSA employees. Well, we're talking billions of dollars here, okay? People were getting rich. You know, so they didn't want that to stop. So they took away this other program that didn't need half the funding. Because it's all about the money. These guys are just taking our tax dollars and funneling it into their pockets. I mean, it's just corruption at the highest levels. So, you know, we, the people, need to fight back. And we need to fight back at every possible instance that we can. You know, I can't make it any simpler than that. We just cannot allow these guys to get away with it. You know, you got to blow the whistle on them. Got to point them out, call them out, take them to task, you know. But, you know, these guys who did that, who blew the whistle on this, guess what? The FBI visited them, raided their homes. You know, they had them at gunpoint, took away all this stuff. And it was thrown out of court because all this stuff was done, you know, all the evidence against these people was just fabricated, made up. But like this one lady said, she goes, look, you know, we're sophisticated people. We're college educated. You know, we've got contacts and connections. But what about the man in the street? Think about what happens to that guy or that woman. I mean, land of the free? I mean, it's a joke, people. The Matrix has you if you believe that. It is a frickin' joke. You know, I kind of wonder, you know, after I'm dead and gone, if these videos will be around, you know, 50 or 100 years from now, somebody might stumble across some of this stuff. Because, you know, time capsule kind of stuff. Because there's people out here like me who know what's going on. But, you know, the powers that tax, you know, the people, the puppet masters, the ones controlling it all, they're doing their darndest, you know, to keep us under their thumb. Then again, as my friend Ralph, shout out to Ralph, he would say, you know, we're in the fourth quarter of life, basically. Once you go past the sun 60 times, revolve around it 60 times, you know, you probably got, you know, maybe another 20 years left to 80. Anything after 80, that's like sudden death overtime. So he goes, you know, do you really want to spend your last days fighting that? Because look, man, just go hang out in the party shack, you know? You don't have to worry about that. Why get involved? I mean, really. And so I'm starting to contemplate that. Problem is that other saying that I've mentioned before. You know, if you see something wrong, then you have a right or responsibility to make it right. You just can't, if you just sit back, then who are you? What are you? You know? I mean, it's like those, you know, football players taking a knee. You know, people saying, oh, they're against the country, they're against the flag, they're against the soldiers who died to protect our freedoms, you know, but those people saying that are all part of the Matrix. They're sucked in, they're plugged in. You know, that's not what the protest is about. And these people are saying, so long as you treat some of us the way you're treating us, how can we respect the flag? We're supposed to be one nation under God? No. You know, in social media, it's just showing how much a divide there truly is. I mean, you take these issues, there's a divide here. You know, when you've got 330, 350, 60 million people in the country, how can you expect us to be united on all these issues? It's ridiculous. On one hand, you want us to be united, but every statistic out there is dividing us up in group, race, age, sex, you know, sexual orientation, blah, blah, blah. Everything divides us, you know, puts us in little cubby holes so we can fight amongst ourselves while the puppet masters keep doing what they're doing. You know, it's, you know, I'm unplugged from the Matrix. They can't fool me anymore. I can see through this stuff. Like when I was watching that video, I knew what was going to happen. They didn't. I could have halfway through the video, I could have told you what was going to happen. Why? It's a documentary. Because I know it's about the money. I know these guys at the top are giving these contracts to their buddies, and then sooner or later, these guys leave the top positions, go work for their buddies, and then they get some of the gravy. I mean, why do these congressmen go into Congress, you know, as kind of quote-unquote regular people, and they come out as millionaires? Millionaires, you know? It's the gravy train, as my friend Ralph calls it. You know, you want to get on that gravy train. And so, my fellow Americans, I will end it by saying, wake up and smell the tyranny.